Let me read it. Okay, verse 33 says here, when my imaginations arise as well and processor spirit, it is when my evil karma training upon me for accumulating negative karma against deities and the mantras, deities and their mantras. Okay. So what is the result of karma is here saying arises well and processor spirit. It talks about some kind of disease or illness. See here's a namdog deep down. Namdog means yes, it's called imagination arises. Now, what is well means?
It's veils.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. A Tibetan would say namdok. Namdok is one of that. I don't know what it's called in English. One of the cognition mind. Namdok is one of the cognition mind. It's saying, for example, right? Sometimes we have a negative mind that thinking someone is the bad, someone like harming to you, even not, but it comes there, right? So I don't know how to explain Annamdo in English. I don't have it here in an English word. So, but it is like a cognition mind. It's more can say delusion, and also it's also part of the imagination that you just made it up by your thought. That kind of saying Namdo, right?
Would that be like conventional wisdom?
Wisdom and missional wisdom.
Would that be like conventional wisdom? It's like we can see it, it's there, but there's very much more to it than that.
It's not necessarily something there. It's just completely made it up by your mind. Yeah.
Okay.
So is that like paranoid, maybe?
Paranoid. Okay.
Scared.
I was going to ask you, that's like the same as Sanskrit, Maya.
Alipaya?
No, Maya.
Maya is more illusion, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Maya is more illusion. So anyhow, so it's saying here, let's say example again, sometimes we feel that some spirit inside the room or inside the house. We feel that, or even not there, right? So you feel always some spirit there. Many people say that, right? Actually, your mind just making it up. I'm not rejecting spirit things, but many times, sometimes you feel that some spirit inside the room or somewhere there. That feeling maybe in your imaginations, or it's a kind of hallucinations, right? So that kind of things. Most of fear in our daily life, or like most of negative thoughts, can say 60-70% just made it up by our thought, or maybe sometime 100%. It just depend on what you imagine, what you're feeling, right? So let's say it takes for simple examples. So far, the many fear what we have in our daily life, that's fears actually comes from your own thoughts and imaginations, right? So, for example, we do not have any problem yet, but thinking, and then we just think, oh, I might have a problem, and then slowly thinking, then you're getting more fear to having those like a problem, right? But we never know actually happening or not happening, but our thoughts making it's happening with me, this problem, that fears comes. This is the example that the fears of like fear or some kind of illness or some kind of disease. And this many of them is just made it out by our thoughts, which we call here namto. Yeah, this type is not really go with the details. It's say its weapon. What is the karma which you created? It's accumulating negative karma against deities and their mantras. So this is example deities and their mantra. But any like a holy being, you against the holy being and also their good advice instead of mantra, you get against their good advice. That's the karma comes. It's a now, from now on, I will vanquish all negative conceptions. That's what we should learn here. So I will vanquish all negative conceptions. So that's usually that's always we say, right? In your daily life, we must try to have positive mind, any circumstances, any situations. So so that's how we bringing or like make peaceful life, right? So therefore, it's vanquish all negative conceptions. That's good. Yeah, that's okay. Just move to next. Okay, next one say here. When I'm lost and wander like a powerless man, it is the weapon of evil karma turning upon me for driving others, such as my gurus, away from their abodes. So abodes, okay, abodes, yeah. Okay, here, well, me. Okay, he's saying sometime we don't have a choice to go other places in other country by by power of someone's, let's say relative to your job, and you really don't want to go some places, but it has to go even you don't like to go. That kind of suffering, saying that kind of suffering is it's a turning your karma, which is you what's you says you driving others, or you like okay, you kicking them out, that's kind of thing saying here. Yeah, simple example here. We lost our country, right? Tibetan. All the Tibetan people really don't want to leave their country to come outside. So, but there are no choice. The first place they have to come to the outside of our country. This is training karma on us. This is this is the one example talking here. One kind of suffering, you really don't want to leave it, but you have to leave it without any optional, without any choice, and then keep having suffering when you leave. Those kind of suffering is the one of the example here, that the karma reflecting upon you, which is your previous life or some other life, you did same things for others. And then also see here, sometime without any reason, or maybe intently you are you're taking out from your job, right? There are many happening in the here. So let's say you're a boss, and then just asking you to leave the job without any reason, or maybe reason might be like jealousy to you or disliking you, right? It's not that you're not doing good job. Even you're doing good job, anything you do properly, but still they wants you leave or you have to leave. That kind of take example. It's, a lot of questioning comes, like a lot of stress is there. And then anger also there, right? When happening this kind of things with us. So that suffering and everything's also not really saying that person's doing bad to me. Sometimes think that your evil karma turning up onto you, you have to leave, right? But we are 100% saying, okay, so that our boss is so bad because he kicked me out without any reason, or some jealousy or so on and so on. So then we having really anger to them and we try to harm to them. So negative minds comes in our thoughts in once we happening that, because we are not thinking that my own karma is involved on it to I have to leave that job. That's the way we believe, right? So yeah, this kind of one example, and anything, any problem, any suffering happening with you, the karma is always involved regarding Buddhism. Your karma is always involved there. Therefore, not really blame to the person or someone else that happening those suffering with you. So because your karma is also involved in it. When we say your karma is involved in it, that's not really saying you are bad, right? People feel that your karma's reflecting upon you to you, reflecting to you, or your karma wrapping up onto you. When we say that some bad situations, then they think, oh, I am a bad person. But it's not. That we're not talking you are a bad person, right? The karma we created by ignorantly, or like created by whatever that afflictions, the intentions, most of things out of our control. The negative, any negative karma which we created, let's say 90% out of our control, because we're creating the negative actions because of anger. We're creating negative actions, even having intentions because of desire or because of ignorance. So the ignorance and desire, anger, hatred, those are the brings you intention to harm others. Those are the let you created or accumulate negative karma, right? So therefore, you are not really counted as a bad, but the actions which is lead by those mental afflictions is bad, right? So when you can make separate it, then you can accept that. So otherwise, you cannot accept that I did something wrong, I did something bad, because you are not making those are separating, right? So this is important. Once you separate, then you can easily accept that any problem what I have right now, it's my own karmas happening on me. My own karmas happening on me means the karma which is created by, accumulated by, out of your control. That's the saying. Are you clear? Right? It's nothing blame to self and others, right? Yeah.
So you mentioned like if some coworker gets thrown out by their boss, even though they didn't do anything wrong, should that person just accept that karma and say, okay, even though I know I'm right, I should just go along with it and say, okay, I'm just going to accept that punishment, or should that person take action and try to go about that action in a positive way, but still fight for their right?
I don't think you should accept immediately, right? But you should accept that it's my karma turning up on me. That means you will not have anger with that person. And then you will have a better, like a better thought, because you're not having anger because of this situation, right? So that's just the point. All the thinking that my karma is wrapping up on me, my karma is wrapping up on means not blame to other, not criticize to other, not anger to other. Again, it means not that you don't fight back. So we all have a right to fight back, but skillful way always, right? That's never cause harming each other or never cause fighting each other, right? That's what we do. So it's not just accept everything what they're saying, not really, right? But mentally accept it. It's my karma, and then it makes you calm. That's the point.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was just making me think of, it's also, you know, it's good to think of your karma. This is my karma wrapping up on me. So you can more quickly go through, like, you don't have to suffer so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even if you don't take a negative action. So, okay, this is my karma ripening up on me. Helps you keep a clearer mind. I feel like, to examine and analyze the situation of what the best thing would do, because it's not just to just inspire anybody, right? I mean, you can, but maybe then more you can think, oh well, this person must be really suffering because of their mental afflictions.
Yeah,
and I have a lot of compassion for that, right?
So this all ideas, actually what we're talking here is try to calm your mind, right? Try to calm your mind with the thinking some kind of reason. The reason is how much is true that we have to analyze again. Otherwise, it's just make you calm your mind. Sometime like other religions can think, okay, God punishing me. That when we have some kind of problem, even you not do any wrong by yourself, but still having problem, that kind of things like throwing out from your job. So first you can think, oh, God punishing me. It makes you calm, right? And when you think God punishing me, maybe his problem is you might have an anger to God. Why to me, right? But that is not really careful thinking about that Bible. Maybe you are not learned well about Bible. So otherwise the serious Christian practitioner, whenever they say, oh, God punishing me, or God give, they really think sincerely. And when the God punishing me, they always think God might have some reason to punishing me. Let me think of how I can change it. That's how it goes, right? So otherwise you might have anger to God. But when you think karma, you cannot anger to any person, the karma, because it's not you, it's not the others, right? So it's one of your action, which is out of your control. It was created by out of your control. One of your actions, you ignorantly did it. So therefore, when you think that it's my karma is wrapping up on me, it's really, you will not found any that you blame to. If you want to blame to karma, you can 100% do that. No problem. Definitely, we should do that, right? We should blame to our karma. We should blame to all, even the cause of karma, which is all those mental affliction. We can blame to our anger. We can blame to our hatred, so on and so on. But yeah, that's the worth to blame it, actually. It has a very good benefit to blaming on anger and hatred things, right? But there are no benefit to blame person. There are no benefit to blame self and others, right? So even the gods, there are no benefit. But because we need to be connected with them, right? We need to stay with them personally, even like a self and others. we need to stay with them harmoniously, peacefully, right? There are no benefit. But we don't want to friend with the anger and hatred and this ignorance. Therefore, you can blame it, you can eliminate it, you can reduce it, right? That's how I can do it. So therefore, thinking it's my karma, thinking it's God, or thinking some kind of cause and condition, it is actually, firstly, that makes you calm. And then second, your analytical mind will be keep continuous as a fresh. You can think better how to fight back. You can think better, even you are fighting back, you're fighting back with reason, not with anger.
Yeah.
That will be the better, yeah.
Yeah, peacefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can forgive somebody for doing some harm for you, but it doesn't mean you condone the actions. You can let go of resentment and show
Yeah.
them, and be around them peacefully, but not condone the continuation of that harmful action that person's doing. You can think of other ways to address it that are positive and don't harm anybody.
Yeah, that's the main separate, right? So anyhow, whatever you have in suffering to leaving the place which you really don't want to leave, or even like the same place you're leaving some different directions. You like this job, but you are like a boss sent to someone, something somewhere else that you really don't like to go. All this suffering, and included that you can say country, place, job, whatever that you really don't want to leave it. There's all sufferings comes from your karma. And what is the karma here saying? Here says, you for driving others, such as my guru, and away from the bodies, the abards. The abard, that's only the person being, human being that talks about here, right? Otherwise, sometime we are driving this, what called, we want to honey, therefore we are destroy the what called bees, right? We are destroying that. It's actually there are birds there, but we are kicking them out. Or they include their animal, human being, whoever, right? So, but they might have some time reason that what called throughout from any community or school or monastery, we do that, right? So with reason, we do sometime like a very bad manner. We try not influence to others, therefore we are throwing out from monastery. Sometimes that's kind of punishment we're doing, right? So this kind of things, we're still doing it, but the intention is not influence to others. Our intention is try to change that person. Therefore, we're giving punishment to kicking them out from any community and any society, right? So, but as Buddhists, mentally or compassionately, we never ever threw them out in our compassion object. So always keep as a compassion object, but physically, we can make it separate. We can throughout them from any society and community, right? But never ever throughout them by jealousy and anger or ignorance. That's accumulating bad karma, which is returning us, right? So yeah, either the human being or animals and insect, whatever you are like destroying them, or you are throwing out them, or you are driving them, is we count it here negative karma, right? It's clear? Okay, so and then here saying from now on I will expel no one from their home, right? In animal or whoever, I will expel no one from their home. So this is okay. Okay, yeah, this is our practice. And then again, each stanza, each verses, when you know about that the bad karma, when you know about that suffering, and then you are practicing with the giving and other, self-changing in other, right? Giving and taking, right? So once you know those suffering, then you are taking all the suffering up onto you, the part of generating compassion practice. Then all this your virtues and all your happiness are giving to them. So after in order to purifying that karma, and then in order to generating compassion, then each line, when you know the what is suffering, what is bad karma, then we are doing this practice, changing self and others, right? Or giving and taking, through by the giving and taking. So that's same you will do here. So, and then next line say, when calamities, what is it? Calamities. Okay, oh, sorry, okay. When calamities such as force and hailstorm occur, it is the weapon of evil karma training upon me for failing to properly absorb my pledge and moral precept. Okay, the bad karma is here. You are not properly follow the rule and regulations, and you are destroying your vows, or you are not really, here said like the filing. Okay, so yeah, it means like you're breaking your samaya, and samaya means commitment, right? You're breaking your vows, or you're not really follow properly way to every rule and regulations. This is negative karma to turning upon you to have those like this is give example like the farmers, right? When they grow something in their farm, and then the hailstorm and what called calamitize, destroy those, right? That destroy those. But it's saying it is the my karma to happening, not success, either like a farmers or business. You can think everything is not having successful, or keep like a we having key problem with this. There's all evil karma turning up to us. That's saying it. So the connection is here. It's how like a not keeping moral ethics perfectly, or not keeping your vows perfectly. How comes it's destroying that my business, my farms? How comes it's destroying those? Because the link is here. Your desire. You know, your desire is the what called actually obstacle to having moral ethics practice. So whoever have a strong desire, they have a very difficult to do moral ethics practice, right? Because say, if strong desire will destroy your shameful, you right? So we need actually yeah, shameless means the having shame is shameful, right?
Having a sense of shame.
Yeah, sense of shame. Yeah. Then shameless means okay. So yeah, so having a sense of shame, actually the desire disorder, we need it like a shame, sense of shame in our daily life. It's regarding, again, we talked about last time what really means shame and so on, right? So anyhow, that kind of things we needed, but the desire will destroy those, because when desire destroy that sense of shame, then you will you will not care anything what you want to do. You will do anything. You are not concerning other, you are not concerning yourself. You do what you like to do it. And then you are not looking really, it's how much is like affected to each and other, self and others, how much is cause problem to self and others, right? So you will do it. That's how to destroy having perfect moral ethics. So the desire is the biggest problem to have moral ethics. So therefore, once we're out of moral ethics because of the desire, then there's a problem that many sufferings comes in our comes turning up into us, right? Yeah, this is the how connection between that lack of moral ethics brings you those the problem and suffering because of desire, right? So let's say okay, all the examples comes in my mind is some kind of let's see, let me find out a good example to say how desire and attachment to destroying our moral ethics, right? This is how connected here. So the one connection I already said, that desire is destroying our sense of shame, and then so once you do not have any shame, then you do whatever you like, right? You don't care. So what's happening in the future? So once you lack of shame, sense of shame, then you don't have a problem to lie to each other. You don't have a problem to deceive to each other because you don't care. You only care what you have desire on. You only care what you have attachment, right? So that only care, and rest of them you not care. Therefore, you don't have any shame to lie and deceive to other, or fighting to other, yelling to others. So this is how we destroy moral ethics. Do you see that? Right. Okay. Yeah. So therefore, we're very much careful to attention that try to reduce desire and attachment for anything in order to keeping moral ethics. So I don't have to explain really how important moral ethics in this time and any time, right? Especially this time, moral ethics is very important, very necessary. And then also sometimes we feel that I'm engaging that morality practice. But when you look at the reason, we are not really engaging morality practice. For example, say we are driving, and then the red lights comes, right? Then you have to stop your car. What is really reason? Why are you stopping your car when red light comes? Sorry?
Fear of a ticket.
Fear for tickets. And yeah, this is the reason. So fear for some kind of punishment, right? But this is wrong reason, isn't it? Right? This is wrong reason. This is simple example that how we keep our moral ethics in our daily life. So many things we are not really follow the moral ethics, but even some moral ethics we do it, some like a rule and regulation we keep it, but the reason is so wrong. So therefore, we're not counted really you are engaging moral ethics because you fear for ticket. Anything you are engaging moral ethics with the reason that you have fear, or you will have reason you that desire, those are not counted moral ethics because you're not doing from yourself, not doing sincerely that, right? So you should have that reason. I shouldn't cross that red light because it might hit to someone. It's might kill to someone. That's a good reason. That's all point in making this light, signal light, right? So, and then, you know, at some time we keep very, what call? Yeah, two things. We have a two face, right? In front of people and just by yourself. When you're alone, you're totally different people. And then when you're in a community, you are totally different people, right? When you're a community, you're wearing well, your clothes is wearing well, and you're pretending a lot. We are pretending a lot in a community, right? So all this, we think as they do very good moral ethics. They're not using the harsh word. They're not speak that or the useless things or meaningless things, or they're very much respecting to each other. That's we see it. But the behind reason we not really see it. That's only see by your own self. That's that we need to correct. We have to correct it behind reason, then we will perfectly or properly follow the moral ethics. So far, I can say we try, but we are not properly following moral ethics or not engaging moral ethics, not engaging sincerely. Look, I can say that, right? So you can test it. Reason either might be fear or desire. You're expecting something, therefore you do good, disdainful, what's it? Not deceive, like a good manner. Descend, right? Decent, yeah. So just all this good manner you're doing a community, the reason might be you might expecting something, or reason that you might lose something to, you might have a fear to lose something, or reputation, right? Or you are your reason that we're expecting might be say, okay, they might more they will compliment to me, they might praise to me, or they might give to me very like a, or they might give like I say let's say that's the school kids too much what call focus on having good grade, right? And they're doing all these good things because I need a good grade. That's wrong reason, right? You're doing not for some good reason, you're doing for good grade. So, and then same us, we're doing for some kind of expectation, some gift, some good grade, some compliments, praise, and so on and so on. Or like a fear to lose reputation, or fear to having some kind of enemies, so on and so on. So there's two reasons, most of that behind our moral ethics. Most of the time we have these two reasons. Whenever you do with these two reasons, any moral ethics, you're not doing it sincerely, right? The reason, look, that's the reason. You understand what is what I'm saying? Yes.
Basically, the root is ego, and you want to change your intention to the right, meaningful intention for others, right? Compassionate.
That's the mainly we have to do. But moral ethics, yeah, all the moral ethics, actually, why we're making rule and regulation. The main reason we all need to be harmonious and peaceful, right? All, even like there are many different ideas, many different thoughts, many different expectations, but once we make a rule, everyone do same equally and not affected to each other, and then accept it as a rule, and then understand like something that even I don't like this kind of things, then just accepting as a rule makes us more calm and peace, right? That's all reason making the rule and regulation. Same, the engaging moral ethics. Actually, you can connect it to the world peace. You can connect to the community peace to engaging that moral ethics. But if you have a reason, only the fear and desire, you are not really can bring that peace in community in the world. Because all this you are engaging moral ethics will be temporarily. your expectations is you all these expectations completed, then you no more do that, right? So when you get a good grade, then your moral ethics is done, right? Then you're not engaging further, continues. So if you have a reason that the world peace and compassion to others, all so on and so on, that's never end. So therefore your moral ethics will be continuous. So otherwise, those two reasons, the either desire or fear, really it's temporarily that those you engage only temporarily, and therefore we not count it. You are engaged moral ethics, right?
So how about when, I enjoy helping, right?
Mhm,
So
mhm.
I do some things and I know that I'm benefiting from that personally because it also makes me feel really good.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going in there with the intention of just, I just want to help out, tell me what you need to do. But I also know that it's not even an expectation, but the effect it has for me is, so is that the wrong intent?
We don't have an intention to expectation, right? But it comes, no need of intention that. It comes, you can feel it. You can enjoy with it.
Yeah.
Right? That not counted intention. There are no intention there, right?
Yeah.
It comes.
It just, yeah.
Yeah. So, so yeah, the otherwise, really, when you help other, do not expect anything. That's how we need to go. And then expectation will be makes you fail to helping other, right? It's not completed or not successful. So then having anger and so on, all this because of you expected something that to helping others, right? So anyhow, I'm just repeating here. It's very important to follow the moral ethics, but reason always should change, not the fear, not the desire, right? Not expected something, or not do for fear, not expected something. See, in our the monks' vows, there are two kinds of vows we not counted as vows. For example, say one of the Buddha's, I think the Buddha's nephew, Chungao, that said it. So he's very much desire person, too much attached to his wife. Then Buddha wants to make him become monk, right? Buddha wants to give him vows. So he never took that. And finally Buddha tricked him, and then finally he took, because of thinking that sometimes shows they are more beautiful the woman than his wife. Then he have his attached object of attachment is changed now. Then he have more desire that the woman, than asking Buddha that can I have married with them. So Buddha said, yes, if you follow the vows perfectly, if you engage this virtuous practice perfectly, you will have those. Then that person engaging vows, receiving vows, taking vows because expectation of that, to having those women. Therefore, this is not counted. We not counted as vows, right? But it's good beginning or good technique to get the actual practice. And then on the other hand, again, I don't remember exactly the how story is. One of the person also take vows, but yeah, he do have a fear to falling in hell realms next life. Then asking the Buddha how I can overcome by that, how I can free from that rebirth in hell realms. And then Buddha again, it's good chance to give vows. The Buddha said, okay, I will give you vows. Then take this vows perfectly. Then you will free from that what called the Dharams. So then he took these vows because the reason that he have a fear to born there. So again, this vows is not counted as like an actual vows, but this is connected with the having actual vows, right? So that's I'm taking an example here in our daily moral ethics, morality practice, anything you connected with either fear or desire, it shouldn't count it moral ethics, not counted moral ethics, because it's not doing for good reason. You're not doing for others' beings, right? So that it will be another reason. It will be really temporarily that you're doing it, because the reason. Yeah.
So what if like say you have your parents coming over and they don't agree with alcohol, and you have say you have like a bottle of wine on the counter or something, and you put it away for when they come over to the house because you're fear that you don't want to hurt their feelings or show them what your lifestyle is.
Mhm.
Is that not living in good moral ethics?
Can you repeat the last part?
So if I take the bottle away and I put it in the cabinet so they don't see it, is that out of fear that I don't want to hurt their feelings how my lifestyle is or somebody's lifestyle is that like not abiding in like good moral ethics?
It's not really good moral ethics because hiddenly you're doing it wrong, right? Just in front of them, you try not do wrong, right? But actually you're doing it, so therefore it's not moral ethics. But it could be more like empathy or concerning other. It's not counted moral ethics.
Okay.
Yeah.
Geshe, could he refrain? Is this an opportunity for him to reframe that in his mind to be like, oh, my parents are coming over and I want to show them respect. So therefore, I'm going to put this bottle away because I know it makes them, feel uncomfortable or bad, and I respect my parents.
So this expectation,
This
you're doing
is
with the
my-
expectation.
My intention is to show them respect.
Yeah, I understand. That looks like an intention is pure
But
respect,
it's not.
but it's very temporary. That we see very temporary, right? When your parents leave, you will do same.
So should
Right. Therefore, it's not moral ethics. You do sincerely. If you do moral ethics sincerely, reason shouldn't be your parents, right?
To show compassion.
If you do reason your parents, again, is connected with either fear or desire, maybe fear, right? Yeah, it's not counted moral ethics.
So I should leave the bottle on the counter?
Then worse, right? Then worse.
Can I ask, if the person who has a bottle of wine does not consider it bad, in their view, this is completely fine. I mean, this is a bottle of wine, but it could be anything else. Any chosen lifestyle is completely fine for themselves and for the community they live in. But they are encountering someone who does not accept or understand this lifestyle. Do you need to change it to meet the perception of the other side? Or can you be true to yourself? This is fine. This is who you are, and you live it.
Yeah,
And
actually,
you're offending the other side.
best to be true, be yourself.
Yes.
But the true being yourself is, if you engage moral ethics better, then your true will be the better, right? If you not really followed your moral ethics perfectly, your true is not really good, right? So therefore, it's not concerning how much you engage in moral ethics or not. So that is really how much I show to people or how much not show to people. This is concerning here, right? What your question is related with. It's not really connected with the moral ethics. And then looks like this is very good, like respecting, as you said it. It looks like respecting, but it's not, as I said, it's not considered moral ethics because it's temporary. Yeah. Yeah, you can say it.
Yeah, this story reminds me of another story that I heard from a Tibetan teacher, was explaining this one lay person who would never clean the altar,
Mhm,
clean the floor in their house. So it was just very dusty. And their Rinpoche was coming to visit their house, so they quickly cleaned their altar, just to make it look clean, so the Rinpoche wouldn't see how dirty they cut their altar. And then after he cleaned it, he takes a step back, realizes what he did, and he throws the dust back on the altar. And he said that was one of the greatest offerings that he's ever made, was the dust going back on the altar to show the Rinpoche.
Yeah, it is. This is regarding the again. It's related to the moral ethic, but a little bit different than our regular life, our daily life, because it's more connected with the Dharma practice, which is out of 8 worldly concerning. So when we do say Dharma practice, you shouldn't connect it with 8 worldly concerning that we usually say it, right? So as practitioner, he thought his sponsor is coming today. So, and then he think, oh, I have to be nice today because my sponsor is coming. But what behind the reason, I really don't know. But that's how that he set up altar much better than usual, right? And then he sit down in his cushion and he immediately realized his Dharma practice is connected to the worldly concerning, worldly concerning, because he wants to praise and compliment. This is one of the 8 worldly concerning, right? So he doing to compliment. So therefore he immediately realized it, and then he throw the dust in his, he don't care whoever comes. Actually, he throwing the dust on that altar, but actually he throw dust on his own negative thoughts. That's the whole point, right? He changed negative thought, that expectation of complimenting. So this is the point. So yeah, this is we can consider that as how we need to do it.
Geshe, I have a
Yes.
question.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going back to this. We're still on verse 35, right? About when.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So when there's a hailstorm or some kind of, natural disaster, it doesn't usually just happen to one person. It happens to a whole area. And I'm wondering if this is what you would call collective karma, and if we should think about this in terms of like global warming and the things that are happening. And what do we do with that?
Why do we do that?
No, what do we do? How do we work with that? Because it's not, is this collective karma when it's, and so how do we, what's your best advice for each of us? Because it's not just one person.
That's the here said, from now on, I will keep my pledge vows pure.
Okay, so we all have to keep our pledge vows pure. Okay.
Yeah, pledge vows is a little bit the terms of Buddhist the vows, right? But instead of pledge vows, I can say moral ethics, right? We need a moral ethics good perfectly. That's how we can save those all environments.
Yeah, we can only do that one person at a time. Okay.
Yeah.
And then about the cleaning and the wine, the bottle of wine, I'm thinking am I understanding correctly? You're not saying this is about ethics. It's about, just the respect for the parents that are coming to visit, or when we know Rinpoche is coming back to DNKL, we clean to make it nice for him. It's out of respect and love, right?
Yeah. So that's just in, like say, regarding cleaning, actually we have to do everyday cleaning room, right? Whether people comes or not comes, for our health, for our overcome by laziness. Every day you should clean it. But once you clean very sometime temporarily with some kind of expectations, therefore it's not counted moral ethics. But let's say in general, drinking or not drinking, not drinking is good always, right? Not drinking is good. So if you follow the moral ethics, perfectly. You might not drink, you might not smoke. So then there are no problem that you don't have really worry about that, where I have to throw bottled water, where I have to throw that cigarette packet and so on and so on. You don't have to worry about that. You're already doing it the daily, every day, concerning, as Janet said, the global warming and the world environments and then peaceful life and harmonies. There are so many good reasons there to engaging moral ethics. But we are not really thinking this reason, taking those reasons or those good reasons for engaging moral ethics. We are always engaging moral ethics, the reason very temporarily. That's the repeating again and saying here. Yeah.
Geshe, can you remind us of the 8 worldly concerns? All of them.
Say it again.
You had previously mentioned the 8 worldly concerns.
Uh-huh.
Can you just list them real quickly as a review?
Oh, okay. Seeking happiness and then disliking suffering, these two. Seeking compliment and disliking blame, as 4. And seeking like some kind of materials or disliking to not offer those things, like a seeking gift and not right. This 6. And then what is else? That's last 2 is yeah, compliments, blame is gone, right? It's already counted. Oh, okay. So I don't remember the sorry.
Reputation.
Oh yeah, repetition is yeah. Repetition. Repetition
like
is yeah, fame and yeah, gain and loss, right? The gain and loss and the fame and not faming, and then complimenting or blaming, and then suffering and happiness. It's this, right? So we are too much seeking happiness and very much what called, yeah, I said dislike, definitely disliking suffering things, right? So why is wrong? Why is wrong? Isn't that good to do it, right? Seeking happiness and disliking suffering. Why is wrong? Do you don't think it's wrong, right?
No, I think
Right.
I know, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Because also when you're overwhelmed with happiness, like you're not thinking clearly, like it's like right in the middle would be best. Equanimity, right?
Yeah, we need some kind of equal between suffering and happiness that we need to have. We have to make it. Anyhow, we will have suffering. This is the main things why I counted this as 8 worldly concerning, right? So you're too much concerning about having happiness, and then very much concerning to having suffering, and not like a worry about the having suffering and dislike about having suffering. So this not really makes your life the peaceful, because this your expectations is, we know that not happening. The expectation those is not happening every time, not happening every day, which too much wishing to have happiness and not have suffering. It's not happening, right? It's never happening, it's right. So once it's not happening, when suffering comes too much heavily, you feel it's too much heavy because your intentions with one of the 8 worldly concerning. But definitely all our practice here today we're learning. Why? Because I want free from suffering. That's all the point actually. Even our team here say how overcome difficulty in daily life. That means how we can free from suffering. This is how we're learning it. But while you're learning it, your expectation is too much, only happiness, not suffering, then suffering will come anyhow, and that makes you so worse. That's the saying, right? So you try and find it out the perfect path and solution how to overcome by suffering. Because most of our solutions in our daily life, it's again, go back to it's very much temporarily, or we are not finding exactly the solution. We think I found the solutions, right? So seems like the target is there, you are arrowing shooting here, east side, and target is west side. That's how we're doing it. When we try to overcome by suffering in our daily life, we have some kind of solutions and method to overcome by suffering. That method could be you engaging it, but it's not really let you overcome by suffering because the target is in the west, you're hitting in the east. That's how it goes actually. So therefore, we should find the perfect solution and then try to engage it. But this is not happening with us. Here we're talking about what is the solution, what is the cause of suffering, and how you overcome by that. Regarding, I can take one example like anger. How many times we talked about that solution about anger? How many times we talked about that, the idea to how overcome by anger? We know those, but in our daily life, we just go what I like it. What you routine, you daily doing routine, right? Never changing here. And then even that anger comes, you're looking same situation, same solution was you look before you learn, right? And then there's no reason to learn because this is, we have the new things to do for that. It's which is not really familiar with it and then not clear with it. That's the start that we cannot engage those path or antidote for anger. So therefore, anger comes routinely because you are not really doing what you learn it. That's the how we know, right? So, okay. So anyhow, let's go back to moral ethics that all this cleaning things, whatever we do. So do first things, we encourage each other to do engage the moral ethics practice, right? So, and then reason I don't have excellence that we all know, or the reason is all the peaceful, harmonious. So, and then secondly, when you engage the moral ethics, your aim and your reason should be biggest than what you have now. So your aim and your like a reason should be connected with the world peace, connected with the environment, connected with the, actually always the biggest one. So therefore, then you will only consider you are not crossing the red light because it might hit to people, right? It might kill to someone else. It's possible, therefore I should stop. Where even I know someone is not coming here, but that's like stop and make it habit, build it as a habit to stop here, right? And then all the reason not kill the people. If you have a reason not to kill the people, then you always do it, right? Even you very much rush, you have to get there, you're getting late. You know that, very much rush, but still you will stop in the red light, right? So if you only the reason is fear the ticket, then you say, okay, I will cross it, I will pay ticket. Then not really, the ultimate reason is not there to why we have to stop in the red light, right? So that's the way engage our moral ethics. Reason should be always good. And two things, your reason shouldn't be connected with the desire and fear, right? So, and then this is like too big as a generally desire and fear, and individually I give you some, I gave some example before that, what means fear, what means desire, right? So, okay, and yeah. So moral ethics is regarding the Buddhists, it's not just you restrained to do something bad. Is there also their moral ethics, you engage something good, not only restraining things. right? So in general, we counted 3 kind of moral ethics: moral ethics for restraining, moral ethics for what call I think it's kind of like accumulating virtues, moral ethics for compassion, and Stephen say it's moral ethic for restraints. And then it says moral ethics for collecting virtues. And that says moral ethics for benefit to others. You know, that's moral ethics is not just you restrain, you stop to do something, right? Some moral ethics, you need to do it. You need to engage it regarding that virtuous actions are. You have to develop within your habit and familiarizations. So that's how it works in our, And then especially here saying moral ethics for benefit to other also has, so there are many morality there to benefit to others, right? So, okay. So again, if you have any question regarding those verses, 3 verses which we done, you can ask question.
Oh yeah, I have a question. Can you hear?
Sure.
You said something really interesting, I think, but verse 33, I did not understand what you said. What you said was for verse 34 or 5, and I think you said that there's a connection between the link. There's a connection here, I think, between, you know, the karmic result and the karmic cause. You said the link here. And I think with verse 35, we see frost and hail has a connection, a link to your property, you know, observing the protection of other people's property, or my own pledges and moral precepts, for example. But with 33, I've always disliked that verse because I found it very difficult to understand that connection that you were talking about for verse 35. For verse 33, the veils and possessor spirits, to me, sounds very difficult to understand anyway. Is that when you're sleeping and you're woken up with torment, or what is it? And then how is that connected to this, the negative karma of accumulating negative karma against deities and their mantras? I don't see that as cause and effect so much. And then I've got a second question, which is related, which is everything we experience that's negative is arising from causes and conditions, I believe. Is causes, does that mean karma, and conditions are like our kleshas or things, angers and things like that? Or is karma separate from causes and conditions? And I remember someone asked this question a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't understand it then because I wasn't a good listener. I apologize.
Okay, I skipped really explain the verse 33 details because it's too much to do with the Buddhism. Nothing is secular or nothing is general. Even the karma, sometime we can talk the way that's secular because of cause and condition, but this is too much Buddhism, so therefore I skipped it. Anyhow, so you are accumulating, you are like blaming your deities, or like you are the blaming or not believing, or like criticize just reciting mantra and so on and so on. That's kind of like a I don't know the direct cause to connect it with this result, which is happening karma about that processor spirit. So the mainly here saying that all this, you have some kind of disease and processor spirit, is your negative thought arises to you. Let's say what Melariba said it, Namdo Dala Kangdong Kumatang, means once you have that kind of negative thought, even your house is empty, you feel that you are too much having fear with the coming the thief and robbery. right? Even your house is empty. So you understand what this means, right? Richard, you understand?
Yes, I think I understand your Milarepa quote. I understand. I have that myself all the time.
Okay.
We all
repeat
do.
those quote?
Oh boy. Okay. Namor dala kamdu dala trum.
Uh-huh.
Even if your house is empty, you fear, I don't know, someone will, I forget the last
You're
part.
having thieving and so on.
Thieves. Oh, yeah.
So what does really mean? You too much worry about having thief and robbery. Even you don't have anything in your house. What is really cause to having this worry? And we clearly see it's just your conceptual thought, right? Your conceptual thought makes you worry. So same way, sometime if you have too much thinking, I'm gonna have a robbery and thief, even that leaf sound comes, you worry arises, right? So, and then strong wind comes, worry arises, because you already have that kind of doubt, that conceptually have that kind of doubt and thought. Any movement, any sound, your mind drift into worry, that worry. So because of your conceptual thought. So same way, say sometimes some people too much scare or fear to spirit, ghosts, right? And they cannot stay in, some people comes here in DNKL. In the wintertime, the pipe inside the wall, it sound comes, they worry. Or some ghost there, right? And then in the sometime the woods are the many woods that little bit getting tight and loose. There's like a season time, right? And the sound comes, tap, 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 right? But when look at that, no one there. They worry. Oh, it goes there. What is really mainly you have a problem with the ghosts. Generally, you are conceptually too much worried about ghosts, and any sound, any movement, anything makes you to bring that worry, connected with that worry. Actually not, right? So who do not that much thinking about the spirit and ghosts, then they think, oh, there may be sounds, some cat might come, some birds might come, or maybe some windy. That's how we think it, right? Not makes worry and fear scary there. But whoever is scary conceptually, every sound makes it. This is connected here, the exactly saying here. So because you not really believe something that it's connected with deity and mantra. The deity and mantra actually we are saying it's which is help you to protect. Once you not believe on it, you're not blaming on it, and then you will not find any protector once you have that kind of conceptually you have fear or scary things. Those are the examples which I give it. Is this clear?
Yes, very much. And so if every conceptual thought is coming to our to be our enemy or our friend, depending, it would be good to have the positive conceptual thought of good relationship with those beings we make offerings to, or the deities, etc.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I see here sometime in the West when they were young, too much abuse, right? And they're stuck in there. I mean, what do you call this? Have something name on it?
Trauma.
Trauma, or yeah,
PTSD.
PTSD. Yeah, PTSD. So that, how comes it? Actually, your conceptual thought, right? So either you call PTSD or trauma, but once you have the abuse, and even you are now close to senior, 70 year, 80 year, you still have that kind of fear. But actually it's not happening, right? All your conceptual thought carrying those fear continuously. Don't have to take medicine for that actually. Let it go, your fear. Right? My perspective, I'm thinking that way. PTSD, what's that? PTSD, yes, is why I laugh, because I don't think it's some kind of big problem. It's because we learn about the mental things, consciousness things, how functions the mind, how functions that it's like. Once you change the mental things, it's not really illness. It's not really problem. You know, forgetting is not really problem. So forgetting comes with many different reasons, right? So when you become a senior, forgetting is natural. So, and then, yeah, there are many you might think it's because it's very important. And then when I laugh, you might think it's criticizing. Actually, I laugh. I will laugh again. So anyhow, what I thought is actually, yeah, your conceptual thoughts, carrying those problems continuously and never overcome by that problem. And once you have that long time, it seems like when you have one wound in your body, it's long time, that is really worse, right? Having long time, it's kind of turning into the cancer. Same way, your mind carrying those conceptual long time and it's stuck there, it's almost become like a cancer. There looks like no treatment or very difficult to change it. Even we talk about think this and that. You cannot let it go because it comes that much. You build it the habit to thinking that abuse things continuously. But actually, we see this solution without any medicine. We see the solution, but yeah, it's the once habit is very strong. We know that it's very difficult to change. We need a lot of challenge to doing this change, but our laziness, then like I say, our energy, not really giving us to that much energy to change or challenging with it. It's so difficult, right? Otherwise, yes, we do have a solution. Yeah, therefore I laugh.
I just wanted to comment on how, you know, Buddhism and neuroscience are so complementary, because when you are mindful and practicing all these things, you're strengthening your neural pathways so that you don't feel like you're always in that traumatic experience. You're correct. It heals your brain physically.
Oh
You
yeah,
can change your brain. So it is true. Yes, these practices
really we can cure so
physically.
many things. Yeah,
It's amazing.
okay, this is the so far my understand connection that mantra and deities to having those problems.
Very nice, thank you. And the second part of my question was this karma, is it condition and causes, or is it separate from causes? Could you define what is the causes and conditions, and what is karma one of them?
It's related with the karma, any suffering, any happiness in our daily life. We said its substantial cause is karma, and those like a weather and person or food, whatever brings us to having those suffering, is we call it condition, not the substantial cause. Because if you do not have a substantial cause to have those suffering, even those conditions not brings you exactly suffering. But once you have substantial cause, then condition can easily brings you those suffering. Therefore, karma is substantial cause, and then others are conditions. So that's how we think there.
Okay, great. And so this was the pot, the substantial cause of a clay pot would be the clay, and the causes and conditions would be the person making the pot and the wheel, for example.
So far easily, I can say whatever we think is cause to having suffering, regarding Buddhists, those are the condition. And what is cause? It's karma. That's how we say it. Yeah, your action, which is turning to the imprints and then reflecting to you at the same time. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, just one last thing. So cause is karma, but it would be substantial cause. Then there will be other causes and conditions, not substantial cause.
Yes.
Without the karma, you would not have the result, whether or not you had the causes and conditions that are outside of substantial cause.
The reason to saying that I could repeat, I did repeat a lot, but still the reason to saying that any condition is not necessary to bring us the same suffering. if you do not have a substantial cause. That's the weather. Sometimes we get sick, right? When weathers change, and many people having the cold and cough, and that's kind of problem, but not for everyone. Whoever in the condition with this weather changing. So that's the one thing you can look at. So therefore, every condition is not necessarily brings you those suffering. If so, then everyone has the same suffering because the condition is same. Everyone not having same suffering, even conditions are same, the weather or food, whatever you count it. So condition is same, right? Therefore, we might have some other cause to having suffering because condition is not enough. Otherwise, everyone has to be same suffering, but not. So what are the other cause? Then Buddhists say the karma.
Wow, thank you so much, Geshe.
Yeah. Okay. Any other question?
So Geshe, one, just to clarify. So if in an example, if two people are walking down the street and it starts raining, one person reacts very angrily to the rain and the other person just says it's okay. Both have the same substantial cause. No, so both have the same condition cause, but the anger reaction is the substantial cause of his anger. Whereas the other person.
The anger, anger might be give some little bit different reason instead of karma. But raining, you having suffering, right? Raining, you having enjoy. Some people, the raining very happy. Some people raining too much like a worry. So there's two suffering and happiness could be related with the karma, but angry might have some good some reason why they have anger with the raining, right? So maybe they might have a worry to destroying something. They might very much dislike water. So that kind of reason makes you angry. Otherwise, I don't think it's related with the karma to having angry.
No, my point, forget anger. If anger is going to complicate, the reason the two people have a completely opposite reaction. Forget if there's no anger. Let's eliminate anger. I'm saying if there's an opposite reaction.
Yes, happy and enjoy. A suffering,
or
right?
sad, or not anger. Both have the same conditioned cause, but the substantial cause for that reaction is different.
Yes, they're different affected because even the same condition, right?
Yes.
That we can count it karma, Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So thank you so much.
Hey, Philip.
Yes, please.
I have a question about tomorrow. There are two events on the calendar that are overlapping tomorrow evening. The Dhamma and Dharma and the Chokor Duchen. And you are listed as for both of them.
Okay. Yeah, we have two events, yes. Tomorrow is Buddha's first returning Dhamma, right? And then we have a Dhamma and Dhamma. So Geshe Ngawangkya-san will lead this prayer here in DNKL. So I have to go join to the Dhamma and Dhamma discussion.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, it's almost same time, right? Those both are same time. But one is in person doing a DNKL, both in person or others in virtual. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Geshe.
Thank you so much. Have a good day, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay, change your reason to moral ethics, okay?
It did you.
Yeah.